Hi there, this is legendary comedian and podcast pioneer Jimmy Pardo. I'm here to tell you about the award-winning podcast Never Not Funny. We are now celebrating our 18th anniversary. That's right, 18 years of podcast greatness. Never Not Funny was one of the first comedy podcasts, and I'm told it's still one of the best. With guests like John Hamm, Caitlin Olsen, Sarah Silverman, Maria Bamford, and Conan O'Brien, you get to listen in on some of the funniest people on the planet, tell stories, and make each other laugh. Subscribe to Never Not Funny now in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Last week when you and I were talking, you called me and you said, I'm on a budget. Darling, Miss Yontef's, accountant has put her on a budget. I know more for me. And then literally an hour later, I look on Behind the Velvet Rope Instagram stories and there's a new just ordered Louis Vuitton handbags. Just you now have new custom ordered a Pharrell, and I think you were tagging Pharrell as the Louis Vuitton artist. And I thought to myself, did I just listen to him for 20 minutes about how he's on a budget and his life is turned around? And now we're ordering a new Louis Vuitton. Okay.
Let me just answer that before we get into this Vanderpump Rules recap. Two things can be true, as I say. Reality has set in. The accountant has taken my hand and said, who the fuck do you think you are? And then what happens is the connection at Louis says, here is the pre-order for these 5 things. These will be gone within 3 minutes. Which do you want? And you're like, thank God I don't want this. Thank God I don't want this. And then something screams out at you. And they're like, girl, either take it or don't. Because when it hits the website, it's going to be sold out. And then you're sick to your stomach. And you just have to say, just fucking do it. So can't two things get to be true? Let me put it this way.
I am very worried you are going the way of the Kardashians. The Kardashians are getting a lot of backlash this week. They're selling their old, worn out clothes, including Khloe, I guess, has put up a sweater for one of her kids from Zara for $50. I'm worried you're going to go the way of Kim Zolciak Biermann and the Kardashians. I'm going to see David's collection on The Real, baby.
Well, darling, a couple of things. First of all, my stuff, because Kim got in trouble too for I think she was selling one of the Croc or Mez bags for 70 something, but it was all dirty. Zolciak is also misrepresenting her shit and saying great condition, and then someone's getting it and being, no, my stuff will be represented accurately when it's time for sale. And one day these things will be sold. And the thing about having so many Louis is, you only take each one out for a spin so infrequently that, that it gets preserved.
Oh, got it. No wear and tear. Okay.
No wear and tear.
I don't know. It's just, it's been.
I did post a new Louis and I did tag Pharrell because I got it in pre-order. So thank you, Pharrell. And I did complain to you that, reality has set in, honestly. Just life is. We got to live a real life. Speaking of which, I was at Melissa Rivers yesterday all day recording in person. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you more about my real life.
I
was at one of the television's biggest dynasty homes.
Let me tell you something. Then we'll get into it. I'm not going to talk about the pot and the Uber, but these Uber drivers, I came home and I'm like, I've never had a headache this bad in months. This stop and go traffic to get there. She's 45 minutes away. We don't reveal where because we never do that. Sarah talked to me about that. But she's in LA and it's 45 minutes there. It's I came home and I was down for the count, honey. I didn't do anything yesterday. I had a bad headache.
I bet. I know. Well, these Uber drivers, somebody's smoking pot. Well, shout out to Melissa Rivers, who we love, just legendary television personality herself, and of course, daughter of the fabulous Joan Rivers. What an honor to go to her house and just have tea and record a podcast. And You're talking to just one of a kind. I mean, and just an incredible producer. Did she produce because, she famously produced Fashion Police along with her mother.
Yes, she did.
So she's got a great producer eye.
I love my once a month with Miss Melissa. They are not going anywhere. Whoever is not a fan of them, like we become like family. Like her team and I have become close. So there's no piercing that veil, people. So Melissa is here to stay.
You want to get into Vanderpump Rules season 11, episode 5? We are in Tahoe. We are opening Wolf, baby.
Can we call it Can we just call it Grandpa Rules? This whole episode was about my boy Graham.
Graham Cracker. Graham Cracker's back.
Graham Cracker is home.
What'd you think? I actually liked this episode. I'm back on board. Found it compelling to watch. Just when I was reaching for my phone to scroll about other things, it brought me back in. It's definitely.
What'd you like about it?
The redemption of Tom Sandoval. I liked. Okay, well, first of all, for a brief second, we got back to their businesses. One of the opening scenes is Katie and Ariana talking about something about her, the sandwich shop that will never open, according to David Yontef. And
I'm starting to change my mind on that.
You are?
Well, they're still talking about it. I mean, I guess it's eventually going to open. They explained why when I walked by, there was no porch anymore. I mean, they did talk about the porch, and that's caused a lot of violations and ordinances. And I don't know. I'm trying not to be such a troll.
I don't think it's opening.
You don't?
No, because I think even though we got 2 minutes of the women discussing the sandwich shop, that's all we got. And then we move on. I mean, I almost feel like they just thread it in because people are going, well, where's something about her? But, that was filmed how many months ago? 8 months ago? And here we are 8 months later. And to your point, the place is like boarded up. Nothing's new. Now,
and they have to explain why the two gals aren't there. I mean, what are they going to do? Break the fourth wall? I mean, I guess they could just break the fourth wall and Ariana could say, I'm not fucking filming with him. We're going. But that to me was like, okay, you filled this in as like the reason why they're not going. She won't film with Tom. That's why.
Oh, yeah, the Tahoe trip. Yes. And so we leave something about her with they have to get a wheelchair ramp. They have to take down the deck that was so cute when David and I went. It was actually adorable. Yeah. And Ariana says, who do I need to blow in West Hollywood to get this open? We just hit red tape after red tape. And then she says, everybody on the city council there is gay, so they're not interested. I don't know. I think gay men, a blowjob's a blowjob. But, so.
I would agree with that. I mean, I'm not looking for a blowjob from a lady at the moment, but I do agree. I mean, what's the difference, right? Just close your eyes, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Turn the lights out. So anyhow, I don't know. That was like a little glimpse. But they do not go on this Tahoe trip. I am very into Sheena and Brock's marriage and their debates. I have a 3-year-old, so I can relate to I have to imagine, though, I don't know. Do you think, you don't have any kids, do you think that part is interesting or it's like jump the shark that we talk so much about their marriage and child issues?
I mean, you might as well jump the shark because guess what? The Valley is coming. Jax! And Jax already just did a post, thank you to, like, this is Jax's show. I think it's actually going to have a producer credit. He said, thank you, Alex Baskin, who's Beverly Hills and Vanderpump, for taking that meeting with me on a rainy night. You got to go check Jax's, and I watch Instagram and I watch an extended trailer. I don't know. It could be okay, this Valley, but I feel like, you know what, Sarah, if you think that jumps the shark, then the whole Valley is this. I mean, you might as well have Sheena. Listen, Sheena should be doing double duty on the Valley. To be honest with you, she should be on both shows. That would be great casting. No, I don't mind seeing this. I don't ever need to see Brock in a little pink string Speedo. See, he's not. I mean, I'm about as attracted to him as I am to Travis Kelce. Neither. They're both too big. They're like, he's like a guy.
Oh,
Brock.
You don't like that? Oh my God.
No. You like that?
Throw you around in the bedroom, baby. Oh my Lord. They'd be picking Miss Yontef up, carrying her from bed to bed. I mean, they'd be.
Who could pick me up and throw me from bed to bed is a 37-year-old Kristen Cavallari's 24-year-old new Oh my God. Did you see her new boyfriend?
I know. And see, like there, I'm not interested in him at all
Oh,
whatsoever.
he can throw me around.
To me, a 24-year-old is great for a night, but there is no way. I mean, what does she possibly have in common with him aside from great sex? It's just so, I don't know.
And she said Tyler Cameron from The Bachelor. This was like an old interview with her. I mean, honey, Laguna Beach in the hills. I mean, move over, housewives. These are the real ones. Kristen did an interview like a couple months ago where she said, or I think it was on her podcast, where she said the hottest guy just physically she was ever with is Tyler Cameron from The Bachelor. Well, guess what? I think Tyler has been replaced because I think this one is even hotter. Go on.
Well, I like Brock and Sheena, and I do think they're aging with their audience. I think a lot of the VPR audience has children, so can relate to the nanny discussion. You know, Sheena is very. I'm with Sheena actually. I would not leave my child. We have an awesome nanny, and I actually found her at a LA playground because I always want to observe people when they don't think anyone's watching.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm going to find my nanny here in LA because I'm just going to go to playgrounds and I'm going to sit. And when I see like a nice nanny, you know, someone that's kind to the kids that doesn't think I'm paying attention, I'm going to say to her, you know, do you know anyone that's looking for some extra help or can you recommend anyone? Anyhow, I did that. And one day there was a woman, she was sitting with a little boy and the little boy was hanging on her the whole hour and a half that we were there. And he was just so sweet and she was so patient with him. You know, he wouldn't go socialize. Anyway, I just said, oh, do you know anyone? And she said, well, actually, I'm looking for a couple extra days. We were off to the races. She's been the greatest nanny. I would trust her to take my son overnight 100%. So
did you steal someone's nanny at the playground?
Well, I ended up stealing because at first we co-shared. And then the other family dropped off. And now we basically have the woman full time. Honey, I get what I want. So
I can see this.
I get that. I get Brock's perspective because my husband is more like that, you know, and then I get hers. When you're a mother, I mean, you are such a mama bear. And I'm with her. Just leave her daughter with the mom. They need to find a nanny during the day, someone that they trust during the day that can, you know, take their daughter. But I liked that discussion a lot. I think he's so hot. And he seems like above everything a little bit. Like he doesn't give a shit about, he's cool with Sandoval. He's cool with people. I like Brock.
I find James the hottest and I find Sandy a close second. And I would definitely bag Schwartz, sure. I mean, it would probably be a lazy fucking lay. I mean, you'd be like, dude, wake up. But I would bag Schwartz too. But you and Brock, I wish you guys the best of luck. Well, what was I gonna say? Allie has Graham Cracker. You really see a sense of this whole episode. I really feel is about Graham Cracker. But Allie is just like, you know, I have this Raquel. I mean, she's still here with us, guys. Graham is here. And I mean, I love when she's like, you know, if Raquel can have a new name, so can Graham. So we have Hippie Kennedy.
Hippie Kennedy. Yeah, that was good. I liked how they head off to Tahoe. Obviously, Katie and Ariana are not going.
Boo-hoo.
What did you make? You know, Tom Sandoval breaks down in the car with Schwartzy. And he just is so overwhelmed with the kindness of them just even showing up and being somewhat happy to be with him. I don't know. I have sympathy for Tom Sandoval, right? I go back and forth. One day I think he's a douche. The next I'm like, oh, I feel for the guy. This is his only life he's ever known on TV.
I mean, I see it both ways. I see it and then you're just like, oh God. Like I could see it the other way. All the people that are like, oh my God, like this one is just, you know, this is the performance of a lifetime. Like, could we see this being the performance of a little bit? I mean, Tom is, you know, crying and this and that. Tom is just so out to lunch, though, in a lot of ways. Like that last scene with James where he's like, man, like, what did you want from me? And like the nail polish. And I'm just like, look, I mean, it's a hard job to be so hated. I mean, trust me, I know, but it's a hard job, but it is a brand. And it just, I think Tom is having yeah, I mean, I felt for the guy and I love when Schwartz is like, let it out, man, let it out. Mind you. Okay. Go on.
I have sympathy for him. I think, and did you read the New York Times article about Sandoval?
Which one? That he's the most hated man?
Yes, the
that
long
one.
one.
The one where he stuck his foot in his mouth and compared himself to
George
Floyd.
Floyd and
That same one.
OJ.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I thought
What did you
that.
think?
Well, I just think it shows you somebody who there's a disconnect because they've been on TV. And it's so rare for a show to last as long as it has, you know? I mean, it really is so rare. They've been on TV so long. I mean, there's a warp, you know? There's a warp, and I think he is genuinely sorry about what happened, you know? And we see this thread that we saw on episode 5 of him, you know, reaching out to Rachel, just saying, you know, I heard you're out of the facility. Are you? I mean, there does seem to be some sincerity with him. Now, I know it's a varying degree for people. It's hard to read. But I thought last night he seemed genuinely hurt, touched, you know, was just happy that some of his old friends were willing to even go to Tahoe with him in this beautiful, you know, house. And
that scene where he's like, you know, and I was at the airport and I was 20 feet away and Sheena looked up and said, hey, I mean, this guy is willing to just take scraps. He is just willing to take scraps. And I'm sorry, the funniest one of the whole damn episode is James, where he's like, you know, come on now. Like, you know, let's not go for a walk in the park. You know, come on now, Tom. Like, I just got here. And like, James is hurt. But you know what I did think is like, I do think at the end, where he says it a few times and he's like, you know, or like towards the end where he's like, you know, nothing we did was malicious. I mean, okay, granted, what you did is like kind of the biggest act of betrayal possible. But he's like, you know, nothing we did had malicious intent. And he's like, every single person in this group had malicious intent. They sold merch. They went on podcasts. They sold more merch. They went on more.
That moment.
He's like, yeah. So he's like, you know, they had conspiracy theories. So he's like, there was like malicious intent. Like, look, I give Tom a lot of credit. Now, granted, you're on a TV show and it can break the fourth wall and you have to film the show. But I would just be like, I mean, I would be like, you can all go fuck yourselves. Like, I don't need any of you as friends. That would be me.
That's what Lala said at BravoCon. She told the audience to go, you know, if she were Tom Sandoval, enough's enough, and she would tell you all to go fuck yourselves. Don't you love discovering new games for your phone that are a bit of a mind teaser, a little bit of a mystery, and aren't filled with annoying ads? Boom, I got it for you. Seeker's Notes. Guys, Seeker's Notes is a game already played by 40 million fans. And the best part about this game, it isn't one of those games just for killing time. It's a perfect stress reliever, too. The game is great with community and social interactions. Every puzzle is a workout for your brain, baby. Also, the best part, like I mentioned, totally no annoying ads. It's no Wi-Fi needed, and it's free. Now, it has a variety of virtual collectibles as well. Beyond the captivating visuals and immersive atmosphere, Seeker's Note offers a treasure trove of virtual collectibles. These are not mere items. They are relics and add depth and meaning to your journey. What are you waiting for? Get playing today. Get a little stress reliever. Oh, nothing is better than a fun game on your phone. Download Seeker's Notes now. This is a first for the Sarah Fraser Show. I've partnered with a mindful eating doctor. You guys know I gained and lost 150 pounds until I found mindfulness and quit all fad dietings. If you have tried every diet under the sun, I want to introduce you to Dr. Applin at Optimal Body. Go to myoptimalbody.com, request an appointment, and be sure to say that the Sarah Fraser Show sent you, because you can qualify for a free personalized assessment, plus a bonus free 30-day supply of their gut repair product when you sign up for a customized plan. Again, that's myoptimalbody.com to request an appointment. I have never partnered with a fad weight loss company, and I never will. Dr. Applin is the real deal. If you have even tried Ozempic and it didn't work for you, you need to see him. Starts with a gut reset, and they actually make a plan for you that is long-term and slow weight loss, so you can keep it off and change your life forever. Don't believe me? Go and read their mindful 5-star reviews. Go to myoptimalbody.com and tell them the Sarah Fraser Show sent you. I liked, you know what?
You like that?
When he broke it down, I thought that was the first time.
It made sense.
For me, it made sense. I got what he was saying. It's a little bit the Erica Jane thing where she also feels she's partly a victim, where he feels as though, okay, Rachel and I messed up. We didn't set out to fall in love and have this like hookup and affair. That's what his relationship's story is. But we did. And then, you guys, who I thought had been my friends for a long time, went out deliberately and made merchandise off this, fed into conspiracy theories, did every podcast under the sun. I mean, I get what he's saying.
Talk shit about me.
Nonstop.
Revealed private things about me. And, I blew up my own life, so I don't necessarily need anyone to feel sorry for me. But, enough is enough. It's done. I don't have Raquel. We don't speak. She wants nothing to do with me. I mean, that's it. The friendship's over. So what type of friend is that, really?
I agreed. I thought he made an excellent point. And you and I have been saying this for a long time. They all need to thank Rachel and Tom Sandoval. Really, because they saved the show and they all have made a fortune. James Kennedy's DJing gigs have improved. He's bought a house off of this. I mean, they all have made...
listen, first of all, this is not planned. I am wearing a Straight Up with Stassi shirt here. See, this is Straight Up with Stassi.
Cool.
For everyone on... So I love a hoodie. This is Stassi's picture right here. Everyone watching on YouTube. I want some Send It to Daryl hoodies. I don't know why I never jumped on that bandwagon. And I'll buy us something about her. But I really want to Send It to Daryl. I love it.
I know.
I love a good march. Love a good march. But when you're hanging out and going to the Ivy for brunch and you're in your Free City sweats and you stop by Kitson with your Starbucks. Yeah, I'm I like to live like it's 1999. You stop by Kitson and you're with your big Starbucks and your Free City sweats. Who in your Louis bag? Thank you, Pharrell. Who wouldn't want a Send It to Daryl hoodie?
I don't know.
I'll have the chopped salad. Thank you.
I never bought fan merch until I met you, and then I went to BravoCon. I was like, now I'm into it. Now I look for it, and I do.
You were at Tom Sandoval in the most extras than me. You saw me run over to that merch booth, darling.
I know. I should have bought the Tom Bejeweled famous sweater,
that's an iconic one.
It is iconic. I should have got that. I'm sure I still can online. The other scene that I thought was very fascinating. Had you heard this? That they did get into more detail about Ariana and Tom, that Tom wants to buy out her side of the house. But it almost seemed a little bit of a new development that they're stuck on. She wants to, which I don't blame her, kind of merchandise, all the furniture, custom ordered items. I mean, lamp treatments, all these things. And she wants to be paid back for those. And it makes it seem a little bit, had you ever heard that before? It seems like they're more stuck on... well, that's very fair. I get it. And so why can't we just she's right. She's come around apparently at this point in the show, now there's some new developments in the real world, but at this point, to I might let him keep the house, right. So why can't you just detail all the stuff, which they seem to be doing, and he can pay for half, right? I mean, he shouldn't pay for the whole, right? If it was... Well, he's keeping the furniture, isn't he? Paying.
So he should pay for all of it. Oh, this is going to get messy. He's not going to do that.
I guess. Look, he already paid half, right? So no, you're correct. He already paid half. They went in on it together. So he's if the dining room table they paid $10,000 for, and he already put in $5,000 of that, he's got to pay her another $5,000.
Listen, you just lose money sometimes in business and in dealings and in life. It happens to all of us. I'm not recommending it. It doesn't happen very often to me. But sometimes you just have to be call it. Just call it. You know what I mean? You go to sell your apartment. You want $4 million. You paid 3, you get 3.6. All right, I want 4. Just take, I'll take 3.6. Let's get me the fuck out of here. It's just doing business. Just call it. So.
Well, obviously, it's not
Get rid of this fucking house.
Well, now we're at a court. Now we're, the next season we're going to be seeing she's filing a court injunction. She wants a judge to force the sale. So I guess maybe we'll find out later on this season, could they not even come to an agreement over the furniture? Because now they still live in that house together out there in the valley.
By the way, and Sheena bought a new house, 2-point-something. She's leaving the condo. She's moving, shockingly, to Valley Village. She's leaving Marina Del Rey. She lives right near Patty Stanger. Did you see that new rumor? Apparently that LVP and Tom Sandoval came to not physical blows, but almost, I'm looking for it, almost physical blows, like right here. They were at SUR, and I guess Sandoval and Lisa had to be separated by security the other night. They were screaming at each other, and he was screaming expletives, and she called him a liar, you are a liar and a manipulator. And they made cameras go down. Cameras are still up while security intervened. Do we believe this? Did Lisa Vanderpump have to be separated by security?
No, I don't believe it ever got physical. I'm sure he would never bite the hand that feeds him. But, was there some yelling and screaming? I'm sure. I don't think it got as bad as that blind item. I saw that.
Tom gets very emotional, very emotional. But I mean, I'd like to see that. But what is up with look at LVP is your biggest fan, Tom Sandoval. So just LVP really gave these people a whole life, didn't she?
A whole life. What do you make of that? Was the other big part, right? Is they're opening Wolf in Tahoe?
Yes, darling.
By LVP.
Filming with the wolves.
Filming with wolves.
Throw me to the wolves and I shall return, leader of the pack. Was that her actual tagline? I think it was very close. Go on.
Well, she's something. I guess their restaurants are doing really well, right? Obviously, Pump closed here more, they say, over a rent dispute than that it wasn't doing well. She's got Vegas. Vegas has been cooking, apparently, at Caesar.
You know what it is? I like the Vegas places because it's Vegas, baby. It's fine. I have a problem with the ones here. SUR has seen better days, just has. And Tom is nicer inside. It's just on that fucking strip where all my boys hang. It's just so, that strip of West Hollywood. It exhausts me. But that's where my boys hang every Friday night at Stash. They have to watch Drag Race.
That is the spot to be. Well, I guess Wolf is open, correct? In Tahoe.
Did it actually open?
Let me look.
But I love LVP with the wolves taking that. And when they were like, that's the shot, I'm like, man, Lisa Vanderpump is just how was this woman ever on? Does everyone really remember the times when she was on Beverly Hills Housewives fighting with Kyle? Because it just seems like so long ago to me. I mean, say what you want, love LVP, hate her. She's got a great setup here. I've said it before. She comes in for 10, like when she comes in, she's like, Graham Cracker is now home with James. And she's like, now don't get too attached to me. I am leaving, everybody. I've done I've filmed the scene enough. Like, why would you want to film the scene? You're getting the same amount of money. And by the way, another random thought I had. You're going to say something.
Well, Wolf has no opening date. In June of 2023, Lisa Vanderpump announced she'd be opening a new restaurant, Wolf by Vanderpump at Lake Tahoe. The gorgeous Alpine Lake, which sits on the border between California and Nevada, is a vacationer's paradise, offering skiing, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, all these months later, the restaurant has no firm opening date.
That's what I thought. Honestly. I'm sorry. I think I just dented my couch. You know what I thought when Katie and Ariana were in the car and they were talking about something about her, and she's like, when has Tom Schwartz ever planned a trip? I mean, doesn't it seem like 17,000 years ago that Tom and Katie were married? I mean, how are these two ever? These are the random thoughts. How are these two ever married? Ever?
I know, right? They just seem complete opposites. And
right?
Yeah. I
it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago,
I know, but it feels like an eternity. Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm Team Schwartzy. I love me some Schwartz. Schwartz seems to handle it all in stride. He's very handsome in real life. Probably 6'1", 6'2", very tall.
He's tall. He's a tall guy. I hope Graham Cracker gets along with Mr. Banks. I'm worried about that.
Me too. I can I just say, I feel for James and Allie a little bit because that dog seems like a bit of a nightmare. I'm going to be honest. And now they're like backed into a corner. You know what I mean? They have to keep the dog. This dog has been bounced around from home to home and rescued. And
what do you?
Is this dog gonna? I don't know. There's just some dogs. I had a girlfriend who had a dog, several years ago, and the dog it would kill everything in sight. It would kill chickens. It would try to kill cats.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Well, it ended up retiring to a farm. Like it's alive.
You want to know why I don't want a fucking dog? You want to know why?
That's what it just would kill everything. And that's just sort of part of animal instinct, right? It's like cats. They love to kill mice, Why
Dogs and cats scare me. Okay. I'm going to be honest. They scare me for different reasons.
I'm not a pet person. I'm not a pet person. I mean,
No.
I wish them no harm. And my mom has a wonderful dog and a wonderful cat that are so sweet, but they're a lot of work. They're a lot of work. You don't know what
If I
personality.
had a dog, it would be a Shar-Pei. There's a lovely Shar-Pei in my Hamptons community. Dino, shout out to Dino. And he just trudges along. He never barks. He never jumps. He never speaks. And I love the wrinkles. They're very cute. But it comes to pass, a Shar-Pei, darling. But it's not for me. I'm going to pass. I live my life on airplanes, so the dog wouldn't be well taken care of.
Yeah. They've got themselves in a corner with that dog. You know what I mean? They've got to keep it. And maybe they love it. Maybe they love it. I'm reading into it. Because, again, at the end of episode 5 last night, LVP comes back out and James reintroduces Graham Cracker or Hippie. And, everyone's sort of taking this in for a second about, wow, the dog is back, and everyone's surprised. They just didn't know where the dog was. So there's a lot. Yeah. But
there's a dark secret with Graham Cracker, Mr. Sandoval reveals. I know the truth about Graham Cracker's past, but I will not reveal it because Mr. Kennedy will slam me against the wall, and I am finally making headway with James. You like how that ended?
No, I know. That was a big secret, which, that's been out there, right? That James was just not so kind to Graham Cracker. All these abuse allegations have been flying around about Mr. Kennedy, and then that Kennedy was not so good to Graham Cracker. And that's like looming out there because at the end. And
also, I think he's referring to that apparently Mr. Cracker had some unfortunate, behavioral issues with Raquel's family, with the yapping and the little nip. And that's why they had to give him away. I think, they're painting the picture that Rachel's family just opened the window and tossed Graham out. And I think Tom is
not exactly.
The dog was not misbehaved well. Which to your point, Sarah, I guess we could see it because he's running around, isn't he?
Maybe he's fine. And with the right training, it can be fine. A lot of people listening to this have pets that have gone through, various things, and then they get the right training and they're fine. I don't know. It's, what did you make of, because we close out last night's episode with this sort of moment with James and Tom reconnecting and trying to be friends again. And what did you think of that?
I mean, James just makes me laugh. He brings a smile to my face. Don't anyone ever. He reminded us, in case you forgot, George Michael, music legend, father figure. I want your sex, faith. Let's not forget that's his godfather. So Sarah's going off on a singing tangent.
Well, and oh my God, he did that. Did he do a cover of Roxanne or
did he?
Yeah. Oh my God,
Roxanne.
You don't have to turn on
the red light. Roxanne. Sting lives at 15 Central Park.
He does a slow version of that. I saw George Michael, I'm sure you did, in Washington, D.C. over a decade ago. Oh, my God. He was unbelievable.
I saw him at MSG, sitting next to Neil Patrick Harris and David Burka, the husbands.
He was gorgeous.
Yeah.
What a talent. What a talent.
And I love that Band-Aid. Do they know it's Christmas time? Okay, anyway, no one pays to hear me sing. I love the James and Tom. I love the scenes with Tom because it's like he's trying to get back in the group. At least it's something interesting. I mean, where we go from here, people are probably sitting here now and saying, do we just listen to 40 minutes of David and Sarah talk about a dog? But that's what the episode presented to us, guys, right?
Well,
we won't talk about Leah McSweeney suing Andy Cohen and suing Bravo. That's coming, guys. Don't worry.
Ooh.
She says he does cocaine in the back room. Didn't we hear that before from Miss Griffin?
Hasn't everybody done something with their boss? I mean, is this like that shocking? I don't know.
If I just had
bosses
I've never done
like,
cocaine.
Okay, well, I've never done cocaine with my boss either, but
I've never done cocaine.
Certainly seen them hammered, like in a way that they probably shouldn't have been drunk.
No, I mean, look, did I get drunk with my staff when I had a staff and I ran HR? Sure. Did I try to like fuck any of them? No, that wouldn't be appropriate.
I mean, I've been to strip clubs with now I was on a radio morning show in DC and we were syndicated in Tampa, Florida. At the time, our boss of the Tampa, Florida radio station, we all went to a strip club with him. It got drunk.
Strip club capital of the world.
Yes, down there in Tampa.
I like Tampa. It's cute.
Does anyone believe Leah McSweeney before we wrap up our VPR discussion? Because I did like the teaser for VPR episode 6. I did like that.
What did it show?
Well, Sheena is FaceTiming Katie and Ariana and basically just saying, look, I'm not going to completely shun Tom Sandoval for you. And Ariana's like, given this expression or whatever on her face. And so we see that coming up. And then we see Tom calling out Lala, which I have to agree with. Where's your storyline, Lala? Where is your tea? Where's your dirt about Emmett?
Is that what he said? He was like, you don't share.
You don't share. And I am like, where is more about Randall? Because, okay, last season did the articles, they never addressed the articles that have since come out, right? From Randall, because those just came out like last early fall, summer. So where's the, like, is Randall keeping up his end of the custody agreement? Is she nervous about Randall having their daughter unsupervised? I mean, where's the discussion about that? We got a little of it in the first couple of episodes, but we really haven't gotten into the nitty gritty. Where's that divorce? How come that divorce is so quiet?
Do you want to know where the discussion is?
Yeah, where?
Well, this past Tuesday, literally this week, not today, not yesterday, the day before Tuesday, the guest on Behind the Velvet Rope was Nicole Eggert from Baywatch. Now everyone's saying, I didn't watch that show. I'll tune in later. Charles in Charge. It turns out, and this is all on the podcast, Miss Nicole Eggert was good friends with Mr. Randall Emmett. Now, she says this and she goes on to talk about David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson and Baywatch. And I'm like, slow down, rewind your shtick here, girl. Love Nicole. And I'm like, excuse me? So apparently, everyone really needs to listen to this. She was friends with Randall, and she's also a Bravo fan. This is a home run guest. So she's watching the Vanderpump Rules and hearing, this, and James, fuck this one. He's with Kristen, and she slaps him, and Lala's with a sugar dad. And then one day she's in the park with her daughter and she runs into her friend Randall and he's like, oh, wait, hold on. Let me, my like new girlfriend is over in the corner. Let me call her over. Lala! And Lala comes running and Nicole Eggert is standing there meeting her friend Randall's new girlfriend as she's watching the Vanderpump Rules. And she's like, oh my God. The sugar dad we are watching is my friend Randall because you didn't know it at the beginning. Who Lala's sugar daddy was. So but then it goes, she tells a story. You got to listen to this, Sarah. Honestly, she tells a story that Randall came to her house like one Sunday morning.
Okay.
Her daughter's, look how excited Sarah is now. Her daughter just showed up because they're friends. Her daughter's birthday party. Now it's not, don't go dark on me. I know what you're thinking. So there's the kids there. Her parents are there. And she implied, Leah says Andy loves the Coca-Cola. She implied Randall might have been with some Coca-Cola. And apparently Randall got in the children's pool fully clothed. So Randall just said, I'm going to go for a dip. But it's not an actual, or maybe like the adult pool, whatever it was. I think it was the children's pool. Got in the completely clothed, like dark, all black. And then just got out and her parents were like, what? And she was like, you need to get out of here immediately. Like it's a child's birthday party. And the children were seeing Coca-Cola. And see, you didn't think, you thought this was like
this is a good one. But okay,
just like a shameless plug. Go and I swear to you, listen to the Nicole Eggert because this Randall story And then I had more questions. When did you last speak to him? What about the hotel room? And Lala, did you know he was like a scumbag? Oh, go and listen. Go on. Would you like to ask me a question?
No, I would just say, where is that? Where is that on Vanderpump Rules? I mean, yes. I know divorce. I know divorces are messy and complicated, and it does sound like Randall is on this other level of a little bit of a Harvey Weinstein, a little bit of a, there's a lot there. And I'm sure she's very, very nervous that she has Ocean with him. She's I'm sure protecting her, but I'm just like, wow, how is she getting away with not doing it? Meanwhile, over here at RHOBH, we're getting ready to see more of Mauricio and Kyle's divorce play out on his Netflix show. Now, if that ain't publicized and planned, and my God, we're willing to sacrifice the girls and everything for our ratings. That's why.
Because we didn't see it the first season, right? It's like Beverly Hills ends. We have the trailer for this. We have Kyle and Morgan on the Watch What Happens carpet. The hand goes up, it goes to the ass, it goes up, it goes to the ass. Then we go to Via Carrata in New York. Let me tell you about Via Carrata. It's not the equivalent exactly of Craig's, but it is like a top New York restaurant where you don't go unless you want to be seen. So now we have Kyle and Morgan at Via Carrata, picture, hands up. And now we have a trailer for Buying Beverly Hills where the girls are like, you ruined our family and it's a divorce, a boo-hoo-hoo. Right, so we have another show now where we're going to sit through and guess what? No fucking answers. But here's the good news. You're going to get some real estate. And by the way, I had two of the girls from the first season of Buying Beverly Hills on this very podcast. Allie, Lutz, where are they? I don't see them in the trailer. I think this whole show is completely revamped. Other than Farrah, well, all I saw was Alexia and her, the guy that she kind of slept with and not some liked. And it just seemed to me like a whole new group of people, and they're all 20-something. I think that somehow Buying Beverly Hills had a good first season, and they're like, you want to knock it out of the park, like Selling Sunset and all the others. I think it's coming back like Vanderpump Rules, where they're going to have Mauricio as the Lisa Vanderpump, and I think it's going to be a bunch of hot, messy 20-somethings, because that's not what it was the first season. It was a good show, but we had 30-somethings and babies and marriages, and I think they're like, nobody gives a fuck about that. Let's just have everyone fucking everyone. And Mauricio can be LVP and the Kyle drama. But here's the thing. If you have a whole season of Buying Beverly Hills and we learn nothing new, and this is more teasers, fuck you. It's my new sentence. Fuck you. Right?
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. If we learn nothing new. I know. I mean, and I think Mo and Kyle are hitting their tipping point of, I think people loved them for a long time, but I think they are in danger of people really hating them and really being disgusted with how they are playing this out over and over. And like I said, I love Kyle. Kyle's one of my favorites, but I'm getting to the point of this whole, I just, I can't believe I've done this to Morgan. And then Morgan's everywhere with her on every red carpet. And it's just so easy. If you didn't want this attention, they're so addicted to it. They know, and it's the Tom Sandoval effect. It does become your life. Like unfortunately, once you go away from these reality shows, people don't care. They just don't care as much. Rinna is doing well. Some reality stars can parlay it into other things, but I think Kyle and
she had a career, and not even the acting. Like she did have the products and QVC. And I could just imagine that whatever you were making on the products, I know she was banned on QVC and blah, 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 but like whatever you're making on an actual product, if it's a real product, it's got to be more than you make from slumming around in front of the camera.
Was Rinna banned from QVC?
Something like that. These people know. These lovely people that are listening.
Wait, and
everyone weigh in.
She was unbanned because she famously said that she made so much money doing QVC again when she was on RHOBH that Harry doesn't have to work anymore for the first time in their careers.
I believe it. She used to fly to Philadelphia, clean off the phone and the bed, and she cleaned down I don't do that. She gets to the hotel room and she wipes everything down. I'm really, believe it or not, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Someone else's head's like laid on this couch. I'm tired. Anyway, Sarah's looking at me in disgust.
I'm more like you. I don't clean either. I don't care. I figured
wait till I show you the before and after from my new apartment in New York. I'm sleeping on an air mattress when I'm there now. The design phase has just started. I guess you're going to say again, oh, poor life, David. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we have no sympathy for you. Are you kidding? Well, you're having like a $20,000 custom headboard made? No, we don't have any. Like, you think we care? No.
I'm all alone in the world.
Oh,
I have no significant other.
I used to believe that. Now there's a long list.
I have no children.
There's a long list in the will for all the Louis and the visitors, and please.
I have no children. I have no pets that love me. I just I have nothing.
I used to think like I was going to be your guardian, like Wendy Williams
you
has
are.
one. I was going to be.
You are.
Please, I'm fighting. So every time I call you, you're out with Sam and Tom and Bill and Anna. And
listen to me.
It's like, oh my God! Now the list of conservators is enormous. I'm going to have to fight with all these people.
Melissa Rivers.
I mean, give me a break. I mean, you've got so many friends and people. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Listen, when I die alone, and you live a nice full life with your husband and you're at this point, it sounds like you want to have 10 kids. Every time I talk to her, the fucking number changes.
I'm trying.
6 kids. Oh God.
I can't wait. I mean,
we're never going to see you again. I
can't wait to be a mom. I am a mom. Thank God. I have a beautiful son and I'm very grateful for him. And maybe I'll just have one more child. I don't know, but I'm ready for at least another baby. I want one more baby. And then I'll have
to bring in Yucatel. I'll have to bring in, I'll listen. We also have Just David. I mean, I do enjoy like just speaking to it, but we'll have to bring in Yucatel when you're Rachel Yucatel, when you're on your maternity. Trust me, Miss Yucatel, love her dearly. I speak to her every day. She would love to take your maternity leave.
Well, Rachel, get ready, girl, because I could be off 3-4 months. I want to just savor in having another baby and being a mom. I love it so much. There's nothing more rewarding. They come in the morning. My son comes in, mommy, coffee.
See, and I am sacrificing that for another Louis and a headboard. So the joke's on me. I'm a lonely person. You have a lovely offspring that will take care of you in your old age.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a long line at the old folks' home when you are incapacitated. And I said, I used to
for all the wrong reasons, just for a damn fucking Louis.
I don't know. And by the way, we have to talk. Did you watch the 4-part Wendy Williams? See, I thought this was going to be me with you. I thought I was going to have the conservatorship. They're going to do a documentary. Everyone's going to be mad at me.
Well,
I don't think so. Well, actually,
Rivers.
They might be. Melissa and Sam, and they might be mad at me. And Anna Kinkos, they might be mad.
We love her, Anna. She was just texting. Melissa watched it and was filling me in. This, I hear I saw the clip with Black China. I just don't understand how this got made. This is trending. This really is trending. Everybody wants to talk about Wendy. I'm talking about it on Monday with Melissa.
Wait,
I think our show's Monday.
Were you a big Wendy fan? Like, or were you that? You seem indifferent. Like Wendy wasn't it for you.
Look, I think she is a pioneer. When I started Behind the Velvet Rope, it was based on Wendy Williams. It was like Countess Luann and I can go to the Regency and hang with Harry Dubin. But when she leaves with someone, I'm going to talk about it on the air, that Luann got up and left with like a hot 23-year-old. So we can be friends, but everything you say to me is going to be fair game. That was the plan when I started the show. That's kind of how it started. So I like Wendy. I think like what she did in radio back when it was just her and Howard Stern coming up she did it like nobody else's business. It's very hard to talk about people or have guests that say things about other people and remain friends with these people. So she did it so well and she was a pioneer, but I was never like a huge fan the way that
a lot of people are.
Yeah. Like I'm not a fan. I'm indifferent. I think that's the right way to put it.
That documentary. I do love her because to me she's like Joan Rivers. It's like you rarely come across people who truly don't give a fuck, like who will roast people and don't care and be called every name. I mean, she's been called homophobic, transphobic, racial, xenophobic. She's been called and she just would get back in that chair. How you doing? Like I love when people do not care.
Does the documentary go into that? Like all the hate she got and everything?
I thought the documentary was much better. A lot of people feel like, why are they doing this? Why are they following around a woman who has a form of dementia induced by being an alcoholic? You're really watching an alcoholic, really. And anyone that's had a family member that's truly a horrible alcoholic, you see it in her. But I actually thought the documentary was much deeper because I think it makes you think about a lot of things. To your point about being alone, I mean, their argument is a little bit like all she wanted to do was be famous, and she got it, but at what cost? At what price? And, I mean, it's sad to see somebody with alcoholism. She's so in love with her son, but she's almost like disconnected from her son in a way.
That's sad.
I'm still confused about how, although I really want to do some research because I want to avoid this. What's scary is how can the state appoint a guardian that's not your relative? Or
how did that happen? Really?
Well, I can't quite equate it, except for supposedly the alarms were sounded because all her money's at Wells Fargo Bank. So therapists, doctors, it sounds like gave a report, and it was tripped off by her son charging $100,000 on her credit cards. Well, to me, unless she reported that as fraud, or maybe somebody in her inner circle, I mean, who cares, right? It's her son. He wants to take, that's an internal matter. And
so the son was just after the money.
Well, he says no, that which I believe, I actually thought he was very sweet, incredible. He says, no, my mother, this is my mother's money. She told me I could spend it, and use her credit card the way I want him. But someone sounded the alarm, said basically he's doing fraud. These are all the, I don't know. I mean, it had to be somebody in her inner circle. And then Wells Fargo steps in and goes, well, we believe that family is stealing from her. So we're going to report it to the state and everything. Anyhow, from a series of events. And then she gets appointed this stranger who's one of these legal guardians. It's very scary.
And does that person take the money? Because let me tell you something.
Of
the root of all
they're
evil,
getting paid a lot.
Yeah, of course. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
For everyone who says it's not, he says he loves money. What a horrible person. We all love money. We all want more money. And most of the fight, do you know what happens when a family member dies with money? Oh my God. Good luck if you're not a close-knit family. Good luck.
No, get a will.
These
you know this. Get a will. Get a trust.
Apart.
Well, don't do that to your family. That's not the family's fault. That's the person who died's fault.
Correct. Correct.
Because if you have enough money, you've got plenty of money to go to a great lawyer and put that crap in a trust and name it out and be very specific so there's no ambiguity. Do not pull an Aretha Franklin. Cripes, she had 18 wills hidden under her toilet and her sofa
my
cushions.
My guy, Prince.
Foolish.
You know what a mess Prince's fucking estate is?
Foolish.
Apollonia and Morris are involved. Crazy.
Absolutely foolish that you do that. It's so horrible for the people left behind. And it's all of what? $5,000, $10,000, which is peanuts to these people. Peanuts to Wendy. And they don't see, I had a lot of questions about it because it's like, did Wendy have like a trust, a living will? I don't think she has anything in writing. So see, now we're up for all this interpretation.
And she just reminds, I mean, I have so many, I have to watch it. Like Melissa was like, you've only watched a little bit of it. It's like, does she know she's making this? Like she's billed as executive producer. So it's like, I have so many questions. I read something today that the producers, I think it was, said, oh, if we knew we were dealing with someone with like dementia and aphasia, we would never have made this. Really? Really? Is that what we're going to say now? That you wouldn't have made this if you knew she had dementia? I mean, you're filming it. You can't tell this is a woman that's not together.
Well, I think
you knew this was a train wreck.
I mean, the only thing I can defend there is, if you've been around someone who's a true alcoholic, it's hard to tell, Is it the alcohol? Is it? Now, usually with like, I'll use my gunkle. I have several gig uncles, but one of them died basically of alcoholism. And, he was somewhat clear from the hours of like 7 a.m. until like 2, and then he would start drinking. And then just like after that, it was like none of it made any sense. And then he ended up with the form of Alzheimer's, probably from being an alcoholic for 50 years. But you don't know. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is heartbreaking. And it's like, what a price to pay. Was that worth it to have that talk show? And was it worth it?
Money. Well, I mean, you're asking the wrong person here. You're asking. Yes. I mean, it's nice if you could be famous or have the money. I would take the money over the fame and just have it all. Still be a happy person, right? I don't think money makes you unhappy. More money, more problems. I get it, but can't we just say it's enough? Do we really need another Louis Vuitton? Is that really going to fill the void today? Do we have to have that? Yeah, we do.
Money makes life so much easier, but you have to not be
It
an
makes
addict.
money.
And you
Yes.
have to be mentally well. And the problem is you can't be
Yes.
alone. That's the thing. That's why I'm having more children. It's like if Wendy had a daughter, I don't know that this would be happening, you know? And it's like, to me, have children. I mean,
Well,
if
you have to
you
have to
want
have a
them,
family,
if you want them.
or you could be alone and just realize that most people have evil motives and not let them in. Spot that.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
That's true.
I'm not the type to be taken advantage of. I'm just
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
like I always feel. No, Sarah's like famous last words. No, I mean have friends and have a great, but when you start like giving people access to money, it's weird to me. I can't see any world. Like I've always said, I could fall in love with you tomorrow. We're never getting married. We can maybe live together. I mean, it's nice if you live down the street or across the street, but even if we live together at whatever, it's when, yeah, fine, move into my houses with me. There's no joint bank account. I'm really, really anti a joint bank account for anyone. That's just me. Sarah's like, oh, really? Tell me. I just find that weird. I just find that a weird concept, but spoken like someone who's single. But I really can say if I fell in love tomorrow and someone was dying for a child, it wouldn't work. If I fell in love tomorrow and someone's like, I will only marry you, love of my life, if we have a joint bank account, well, we're not getting married. That's an actual deal breaker. I don't believe in that. See?
All right. Well, I mean, no, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you just get a will, get a living trust, get things lined up. So when something happens to Miss Yontef at 82, we're not all fighting. Don't make it clear, Miss Yontef. Do not leave us with like, who gets this and who gets that.
My mind might be gone by 82. I'll be honest with you.
All right, well,
listen, if my mind, listen, here, do you want me to give you permission? Do you want to be the #1 podcast in the country? Okay, here's the plan. Okay. When my mind goes, I don't know, maybe 10 years, 20 years, do you really want to keep doing the show with me and you could just have ratings gold and I will sit here and talk Bravo and my mind will literally be gone? Do you want to do that? How about I give you that instead of a Louis? You'll be the #1 podcast.
All right. Yeah. I'll keep it going. All right. Well, on that
I hope that doesn't happen to me. That's my biggest fear in life.
Is to lose your mind?
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's worse than dying of just like a sickness. I would rather have
you'd rather have that than cancer?
No, I would rather have cancer, I think.
You'd rather have pancreatic cancer? Like Alex Trebek. You'd rather that?
Well, no, I mean,
I
don't know. Losing your mind seems so just, like if you've seen it up close, it's so just sad, right? Because you have to wonder, I always wonder if the person knows that they've lost their mind because they are angry. So it's like, do you know that you're angry? Like, so a lot of people that have lost their minds seem very unhappy. And so it's like, do you know you've lost your mind and you're unhappy? Because if you don't, then I guess there's no real unhappiness to it. This is a very deep conversation.
I know it is. It's very hard to figure out. I don't know.
I would love to talk about all this stuff other than
I just want to be well taken care of. I just want to be well taken care of. Like that's to me the lowest. Too. I think the lowest form of dying is like, I don't know, potentially what Wendy's dealing with. Well, are you dying with people who respect you and like love you? And
but her son loves her, right?
Yeah, but he's like he and her sister Wanda, they're trying like heck to get conservatorship, but they're not. This guy Will, her crazy manager, has more access to her. This family members, they're calling this guy Will, who appears, genuinely thoughtful on the documentary. I thought they portrayed him pretty well. I mean, he's a little like, to me, it's like, aren't you a manager? I mean, he's all decked out in Givenchy and it's
of course.
Diamonds and everything. It's like, well, you're a manager to celebrity. How are we? Maybe he has other investments. I don't know. It's a little, every scene is Louis Vuitton and Gucci. It's like, okay, pal, let's like, this is a lot. Where are you getting all this money?
Well,
I mean,
do you really want to know where? It's called Wendy Williams.
I know.
W
I know.
squared.
That's what you think. That's all you think about. And that's to me the saddest part, because you work your whole life and it should be given to the son. And if the son's taking even halfway good care of her, he should have access to her money. That's what she would want. Not this manager and then the hairdresser and this other person and this Sabrina Morrissey, who's the guardian, who's, this is like the Britney Spears. I mean, the lawyers, no offense to you, you're a lawyer, but the lawyers are the ones that make all the money. I mean, this Sabrina's charging $500 for 15 minutes to look at two things, that's the crime. That's how I think is the worst. I want to be, whatever happens, like, die with people that care about me, that want me to, that take good care of you. I mean, just sad, Wendy. And I mean, who the fuck, is your apartment in New York going to be black walls? I thought the saddest part too, watching that documentary. You walk into her New York City apartment, this beautiful apartment. The walls are all black everywhere. Who lives in a home with black walls? Cripes, you're getting.
Are you kidding me?
What? Is
my
that like
walls? No, I'm getting wall coverings. My apartment is going to be every possible shade of gray, beige, grayish, white, brown, light brown, tan. I'm not even having 1 ounce of color or it's all neutrals. All neutrals.
Well, that sounds better to me. It's like, God, we're all heading into a coffin, which is nothing but solid black. It's like, who paints the interior? Every room in our house, solid black walls.
Really?
I thought, no wonder you're depressed and an alcoholic. Who wants to wake up? I mean, you look like you're in the inside of a coffin when she awakes with a chandelier.
I love how you think everyone in New York has all black. No, we just wear all black, darling.
Oh, God. Add some color into your life, my Lord.
Listen, I have to watch this documentary. Gosh, we have a lot.
It's good. I did not find it. A lot of people found it super exploitative. It is, but also I think it's cautionary, and I think the family is doing it and pushing for it because they want the public to know if this conservatorship thing can happen to them, just like with Britney Spears. It can happen to anybody.
This is scary.
Yes. It's very, very scary, and I think they're doing it. They want it out there to hopefully gain public sympathy, like Britney did, Free Britney, to get control of Wendy. And to me, the family should have control. Even if they go through all the millions, at least, she's with her sister who she loves. She's with her father. She's with her son who she adores so much. Let them have the money instead of Sabrina Morrissey, this foolish guardian, making a fortune in New York.
I have to go watch this.
Okay, bye. I gotta go.
Keep in touch, girl. Next time we got to talk about Leah. We got to talk about Nick Sweeney.
I want to know all your thoughts because you've had hot takes on Leah. And I feel like, did you ever interview Leah? Do you know Leah personally? Or did you?
I've met her. I have pictures somewhere on my...
She is coming from Mr.
Instagram
Cohen.
with her. I've said horrible things about her, so I don't think she cares for me.
Well, isn't the timing... The timing's fascinating. Well, aren't she and Ebony besties?
No.
What? I thought they were like
she
good
ditched
friends.
Ebony, girl. She ditched Ebony during Roni. I don't know. Look, it's going to be interesting. Okay, we have to talk about this next time. All right, call me.
Bye, Gorge. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.